Hi there, Vanessa Lanham-Day here with some more inspiring ideas to help you with your marketing and business growth. If you follow me at all on social media, it won't come as a surprise to you to hear I'm recently back from a quick trip to Russia. Never been before, went there for a surprise visit. It was for my husband's birthday. And it was really exciting. We started off in Moscow and went off to St. Petersburg by train after a couple of days. And I brought back with me some of these, I think these are called Baboushka dolls. This is for my little great niece Alicia, so I hope she won't mind me borrowing them in the meantime. But I thought it was a really good way of demonstrating what I thought was a really useful lesson that we took from it out there. I'll be honest, it came to us as a bit of a surprise. What were we expecting? You know, we have a lot of history, how we feel about Russia, you know, the communist era. It doesn't seem 10 minutes ago that the wall came down and that whole you know, communist bloc opened up to more Western thinking. It was in fact 25 years ago, so there's a whole new generation there now. And what I was so surprised at was just how things have changed and the new atmosphere that you see here. And I'm not just talking about that sense of Russian oligarchs and people with shed loads of money that we tend to think about. It was much more subtle than that and working at a much deeper level, much more integrated. Baboushka 1, the littlest one, not because it's the least important, but actually that her size is quite important here, because it was that minute attention to detail that really surprised us. Length and breadth of everything that we did. We didn't pay insignificant sums for our hotel and our travel, but equally it wasn't, you know, first class the whole way along. The prices were sensible prices, yet the service we got for that we felt was extraordinary, right from the way we booked our tour of Moscow before we left, and then the ways in which they engaged with us and made it really easy for us to do business with them, right the way through the hotels, the standard of the hotels, the cleanliness, the attention to detail of the staff, absolutely every level we were incredibly surprised about. And I think that there's an interesting lesson there. There's this emerging nation who have really embraced capitalism and the market economy. Perhaps there's something, a lesson they can teach the rest of us about how important that attention to detail is. Okay, Baboushka number 2, and it's what I would describe as joined up thinking. Again, very surprised at the level to which everybody in the chain knew their role. So it wasn't just some at the top thinking this was a good idea. Every layer of staff that we encountered seemed to understand their role. Just as a simple example, we never once had to ask for our room key or by number. They knew as soon as we walked in the hotel who we were and what room we were staying in. We arrived back just about to travel off to St. Petersburg, and as soon as we walked through the door, would you like us to load your cases into the car? That they knew who we were. Interestingly, it was on Steve's birthday, a birthday cake arrived on our table first thing in the morning, and I couldn't understand how did they even know it was his birthday. I'd booked through booking.com, not direct with the hotel. I'm only guessing it's probably from the passports the night before, but we arrived quite late, so the level of thinking that's taken that through from quite late to first thing in the morning. And very amusingly, when I said to her, the lady, how did you know it was his birthday? And her reply was, well, we know everything, which I thought was a fantastic way to respond. But just to say the levels of detail, we were addressed by name every time we walked in the restaurant, and again, it wasn't a small hotel. So very impressed with that level of detail and the joined up thinking and everybody in the chain knowing their role. Can you answer the same for your business? So that's Baboushka number 2. Okay, number 3, opportunism. At the big picture level, this is happening through the government. Think of the history of Russia and that communist era. It went on for decades. So it's very ingrained in their thinking, yet very quickly they're dismantling that. And so right up at government level, red tape is being removed, making it a lot easier for young people or, you know, the emerging generations to take advantage of that. So I think that's very interesting. So that big picture level, that's happening. So that's number 3. Okay, number 4. Well, it's all very well having red tape removed and the government thinking it's a great idea, but what you're seeing is actually this whole new generation of people really being opportunistic and creating this great energy. For sure, there's a lot of the big brands out there at the moment. You'll see all the Western brands, Subway, Burger King, McDonald's, and so forth, often with the Cyrillic translations, which always looks amusing. But yes, those are there, but it's more than that. It's this whole energy on the street of people out there doing things, taking opportunity by the hand and really doing something with it. And again, I wonder if in countries, like the UK, where it's become such a habit for us, have we forgotten that energy of opportunism, the energy to take something very quickly, move it through to fruition, to turning it into a money-making opportunity. And I think that's really worth thinking about. And finally, the big one, as they say, Baboushka number 5. And I think the reason this one is big is because it's what it all adds up to. What it adds up to, the fact is they're making it really easy for us to want to go back. We're already thinking about the possibility of a holiday in the northern parts of Russia, where there's some absolutely beautiful remote countryside and some really top quality resorts and hotels. We're talking about it a lot. Here I am talking to you about it. I've talked about it a lot on social media, and they're making it very easy for me to recommend it to people because we were just so impressed with the levels of detail. And so think again, are you creating an environment in your business where Baboushka number 5 comes into her own, and you're making it really easy for people to talk about you, recommend you, chatter about you, because that's really important in business. So there we are. That's my Russian flavours for today. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye bye.